Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's cast for the game between 5mm versus CUDGS3. I am just waiting for my co-caster, so I'll see if I can get him in as well. But this is round two of the loser brackets, the first game, and we will be casting both of them tonight. So first up, we do have 5mm, who just recently lost to the Dim Sum, has been playing really well these last couple of games. So they really dominated that best of three, and now these teams will square up in a best of one. So we'll see what happens. I do also have the brackets somewhere here, so I'll try to show them to you in a minute. And never mind. So my caster isn't really responding, so I'll just have to wait on him. Anyways, we have seen both of these teams before playing really solid. I mean, these are the winners in the group stages, so... Hello, Mad Monkey.
Greetings.
Such attentive.
What?
So attentive on Skype.
Well, I have it put on busy without remembering it, so it didn't make a sound when you called.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not too nice then. But yeah, as I was saying, we'll be casting the round two loser brackets right now. It's two best of ones. The first one is 5mm versus CUDGS3, and the second is, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look this up. Give me a second.
I'll give you a second.
It's not in there. It's extra sour wet noodles versus Magic Socket, which are we haven't seen extra sour wet noodles, but that's for the future.
It sounds like a great name.
Yeah, I agree. We have seen these before, and as I said just recently, 5mm just recently lost to Dim Sum, who have been really good so far. So for all of those who are watching, I'd really take a look at the game between. We'll change this later to versus Dim Sum later today, because that will probably be a really good game. It's the winner bracket final, so.
Yeah. And I'm actually on Skype on my computer today because I'm staying at my parents' place, so I have good internet.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know.
And now I think we do have everyone in now. Okay, we do have. There seems to be some Wi-Fi problems or something, but now everyone from CUD is here, so yeah. We'll see what happens with that.
We've casted both these teams, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. 5mm played really solidly when we cast them.
Yeah.
And now they're asking if we're ready. That's a first. So yeah, and so did CUD. I mean, CUD was really good as well. So yeah. We have seen these teams and they're really good. So I'm looking forward to this match. It will be interesting to see.
Indeed it will. So yeah.
Yeah, I think right now though the favorites, as I've been talking about earlier, Dim Sum have been really good, but I haven't seen what sour nude. No, we'll change this later. So I'm not entirely sure about them, how they've been doing actually.
Yeah, well, we haven't casted them, so
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of hard for us to know. But I remember being really impressed by Dim Sum. So
yeah, and I'm gonna have to like instantly apologize for the stupid net graph in the top corner because my console won't open, so I can't remove it. I'm terribly sorry about that, guys.
Oh, what are you doing, man?
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, 5
Can you predict the first ban?
We're gonna go ahead and guess Nature's Prophet. It's not gonna beat Nature's Prophet just because of that.
No, last time I guessed Nature's Prophet, it was Nature's Prophet, but now you guessed it, so it won't be Nature's Prophet.
Exactly.
No,
it's just my luck.
No. My cat is trying to lie down on my laptop.
No, that's Timbersaw being banned out. I was wrong. Yeah. Dead wrong.
I totally thought it was gonna be Timbersaw in my mind.
Yeah, you just didn't want to say it. No spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally predicted it. I mean, Timbersaw just super high burst and very survivable, so very strong
Yeah,
offlane.
definitely a good pickoff. I mean, we've seen him turn games on through the tournament. I mean,
Yeah.
so I definitely like that ban.
Yeah.
Now
And there
Nature's
we
Prophet.
go.
Damn
To a
it.
second ban.
Exactly, but first round, so not too far off. But I mean, no one really wants to play against that split push. We do see him being played a lot in the meta, especially from Alliance with Admiral Bulldog really controlling that hero. So
Yeah, teams like Liquid, Fnatic, and Alliance play very, very good Nature's Prophet.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Actually, they're actually playing right now since MLG is going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So
uh,
if you wanna watch someone kick ass with Nature's Prophet, you can put on MLG on a second screen, but you have to stay here
yeah, exactly.
because we
Don't
need you.
you don't you dare leave us. No, but we've seen a couple of them prominent. I mean, Nature's Prophet, he's been banned out like almost the entire tournament, so we haven't
Yeah.
really seen him a lot. But now we do see Lish, which is a very much more common ban. He is a very strong support, and I really do like that ban out.
Yeah, strong support and strong offlaner if you choose to run him as that. You can even run him as in dual lanes, or I've actually only seen Alliance do it, but they ran him mid as well, together with a Magnus,
Oh,
just
okay.
sharing the XP there. So he's really versatile and just really good strong hero in general. And Dark's that wall can just completely screw you over.
Yeah, I mean, as we've said before, we haven't really seen any. We've seen him being played sometimes, but it's just you're so scared of that wall, and I do think that's a pretty decent call. But now, 5 Mysterious Malaysians pick up the Elder Titan, which is a really good pickup, especially when Darkseer is being banned out, since they can't steal the natural order and aura
Yeah,
when they don't have the Darkseer.
yeah. I can actually say I played with my own team yesterday, I think it was, and I played Medusa and we went up against the Darkseer, and he was pretty much the only reason we lost that game because he made an illusion of me and I killed my entire team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the dangers of having such a prominent in-game carry, and you have the Darkseer to just, I mean, duplicate it.
Yeah, it's just really painful. And yeah, Elder Titan can usually run offlane nowadays, but works very well mid as well. So we'll see where they put him. But yeah, Natural Order and the Spirit, both really, really strong spells.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've seen him a couple of times from being, as you say, being run both offlane and mid lane, so I do like that pickup. Now when Nick's being picked up, that's unusual. I think that's the first for us.
Yeah, it's definitely a first for us, and especially now after he got his stun changed in 6.79, so you can no longer target people with it, which makes it really much more difficult to hit.
Yeah. I mean, I do see him being played from time to time, but I mean, he's had a change in winning after that change. I mean, it does take a little bit more skill. He can't just as easily pick off kills.
Yeah, I mean Nyx is also here that he can be run both as a support and as a mid hero. Though I would guess on support now because when you see mid Nyx, he usually goes for a lot of solo pickoffs, and which means that you have to hit one person's stuns, which makes it even harder than trying to aim like between people and try to hit more at once.
Yeah.
So I feel like a support Nyx trying to hit stuns on like 2 or 3 people at once. I feel that it's just stronger in general.
Yeah, I agree, and I see it. I mean, we do see a Venomancer being picked up now, and Venomancer is most prominently used as a support, so
Yeah.
I guess that we're gonna see a Venomancer Nyx supporting on the safe lane.
Yeah.
But you never know with a Venomancer, and now Venomancer looks so cool that it's
yeah.
just like,
Oh god, it's so cool. I
love
love
that
the
skin.
new Venomancer model.
Me
It's
too.
just incredibly badass.
Me too. No, I'm not badass, but I do think he's badass.
Yeah. I mean, now you don't want to fight him at all. You just want to run away.
Exactly.
You want to be killed.
The power of a new model.
Yeah, and he's become really strong as well with the poison sting and the plague wards. Just
Yeah.
such a hassle to play against. And then Naga being picked up, great initiator and team fight stopper, so to say. That she can, if you feel that you're at a disadvantage during a fight, she can just pop her song and just stop the fight. And she has a great lockdown as well with the ensnare.
Yeah, I agree. We've talked about her before, just because she is still a very good supporting hero, so I do think that's a nice pickup. Now we see Luna being banned out from 5 Mysterious, so Luna's a good carry. We talked about it before that. She is kind of strong both early and towards the middle game since she has the Lucent Beam and her Eclipse, but she does need a couple of items to really be able to contest that hard carry position.
Yeah, the thing with Luna is that early to mid game she relies pretty much solely on her Eclipse. If she doesn't hit a good Eclipse, then she's pretty much useless in a fight. But when you reach the late game, then she becomes extremely strong with her bouncing glaives.
Yeah, I agree. And now we see OD being banned out by CUD, and that's not at all an unusual ban out. No one likes going up against the
No, he's
OD.
a horrible hero to meet.
Yeah, and especially if they're gonna try to run a Nyx Assassin in the mid lane. That's gonna be a tough matchup in that case for Nyx.
Any mana dependent hero against an OD is a horrible experience.
Yeah. And now let's see what 5 Mysterious Simulation will go for as their 4th ban out.
I would guess some kind of late game care as well. It seems like here with heroes like Naga and Elder Titan, you can actually start fighting with 4 people fairly early. I feel if they want to go, they actually ban Night Stalker. I did not expect that. I don't feel that Luna and Night Stalker really have anything in common. So they would set up bans. Night Stalker is a hero that can be run both solo safe lane as well as mid, depending on how you wanna. He's a really strong early game ganker and just mid game fighter in general, which is pretty much completely different from Luna. So I'm not really sure what they're expecting from CUD.
If you look at the bans from 5 Mysterious Simulations overall, if they ban out like another support, they ban out like a setup.
Yeah, I mean if this Nyx goes for a mid roll instead, then he would actually be a really strong ganker together with the Night Stalker, and as well he could work that they let the Luna farm and the Nyx just roams and kills, but I'm not really sure. We'll see. It depends a lot on the rest of the lineup how they choose to go.
Now we see Bounty Hunter being banned out, so
I don't really like this ban, honestly. They ban a mid and an offlaner. I guess they're unsure about where the Elder Titan will go, but I just feel that they should focus on banning one role.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. I mean, I don't think a Bounty Hunter would have been the prominent pickup for 5 Mysterious, but I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do. As you say, it's kind of vague right now where they will put the Elder Titan, especially since we're only 2 heroes into the pick. So
yeah,
it'll definitely be interesting to see.
And a Shadow Shaman as well. Now this means either Nyx mid or Shadow Shaman mid.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a Venomancer mid.
No, I've only seen one player do that, and that was Dendi. And we all know how crazy that guy is.
Yeah, exactly.
So Shadow Shaman has gotten a bit of a resurface after 6.79, but usually still run as a support. He works mid really well. The Ether Shock does a lot of damage, and now he has even more wards than before with 10 wards. No, not more wards, they are structured differently. And
yeah, exactly. So easier to trap.
Yeah, and just getting early levels on a Shadow Shaman with the new wards is really strong because it makes pickups really effective.
Yeah, I agree.
In general. And then together with the Nyx as well. Yes, really strong gank potential. And yeah, Weaver. I would guess the safe lane hero here, being the Weaver, could be run off lane as well. Usually together with an aggressive trialing or something like that. But depending, Naga works as well as an aggressive trialing hero. But that would put Elder Titan mid in that case. Just regardless, it's really hard to predict the laning so far.
Yeah, I agree, and I do like Weaver as a pickup in general, but versus a Shadow Shaman, he has a lot of lockdown. So
yeah,
I mean, if they catch out the Weaver in a Hex or a Shackle, that's gonna be tough for Weaver.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And with the Nyx as well, with the Impale and the Mana Burn, can just shut this Weaver down really well.
Yeah.
And then we have a Tinker. I like Tinker. I have not seen Tinker in competitive matches in a long time. So I like this pickup. he could be put off lane and he could be put solo safe lane, even ancient farming if you would want that. But just in general, if he gets quick boost of travel, then he's just such a pain to deal with.
Yeah, and now we get a Jakiro pickup from Five Mysterious, which I do like because I think that Five Mysterious are kind of lacking in the lockdown department. They do
Yeah.
have the ensnare from Naga Siren, but that was about it stun wise. I mean, yeah, the stomp from Elder Titan, but it doesn't really work as a lockdown in the same sense, since if you hit them, they will they will be out of the stuns.
Yeah. I feel like both Elder Titan Stomp as well as the Ice Path works really well in conjunction with the song. If Naga hits a good song, when the other team is grouped up, then both these spells can do a lot of damage if they time it correctly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
So
Elder Titan Ultimate with Naga Siren Song is such a scary combo.
Yeah, with good execution, I feel that the team fights from Five Mysterious Malaysians is just really strong.
Yeah, and now we see a Quap being banned out from CUD, so they're most likely guessing that Five Mysterious haven't picked up their mid lane, or perhaps off lane. I mean, but
they expect the Elder Titan to go off lane.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I think so as well. It's the most usual role, but that makes me question the bounty hunter ban from before. They probably just don't want to be up against track, the fear of track hold.
Yeah, most likely. And now we see Ursa being. That's an interesting pickup.
Actually, I like it a lot. The one problem with Ursa is that he can be kited really well. But with a Venomancer, Nyx, Shadow Shaman, that's a lot of lockdown, and he will be able to get his punches in.
Yeah, definitely. I do think this is interesting because, as we've said a couple of times before, Viper is a really prominent counterpick to Ursa, so
yeah,
we'll see if they decide to pick up a Viper as the last pick since he hasn't been banned out.
Yeah, I actually feel Viper would have been a better ban than Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
If you want to pick an Ursa, but it depends a lot on Five Mysterious Malaysians if they want to play it. I mean, he works really well in the mid lane, so it would be a good pick in general.
Yeah, I think so too. And also reflecting back towards the bans, I do like a Juggernaut ban out from Five Mysterious as well because as you said, Ursa, his problem is that he can't reach them. But Jugger as well, I mean with a Venomancer and a Nyx, if they go that route on the safe lane, that's a lot of slow and stun for Ursa as well, but as well as Juggernaut to just go in and do their stuff and get some easy kills in the early game.
And we have a Death Prophet.
That's interesting. I don't dislike it, since Death Prophet, I do like Death Prophet with her boost and her ultimate, but and she does have a silence which is nice against a lot of these heroes, but still, I mean, interesting pickup, I think, definitely.
Yeah, the problem I have with this pickup is that she needs her ult to do pretty much its full duration damage. The push from Five Mysterious Malaysians is not really that strong, so it might be that they want to use her ult for team fighting rather than pushing. The problem I feel is that she needs that ult to pretty much have its full duration, and with the high burst from CUD, it can be difficult for her to stay up. And if she dies early, then they lose a lot of damage.
Yeah, I agree, definitely, and I do think that, as you said, she needs to stay up, and right now CUD they don't have terribly lots of lockdown. They have the Shadow Shaman and the Nyx, but I think both teams in general are kind of lacking in lockdown, to be honest.
Well, the thing is that the Venomancer has good slow, but against Weaver, that's useless, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because he has CUDGS everywhere. And other than that, they have one stun from Nyx and two stuns from Shadow Shaman.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let's just present our teams before we go into this crazy start. So yeah, for 5mm, we do have Tea Leaf Desync on the Elder Titan, la 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 la, on the Naga Siren, Red Sapphire on the Death Prophet, Booty Quester on the Jakiro, and Pancakes on the Weaver. And they have smoked out and they're going towards the middle lane out into the Roshan pit. Oh, they thought this was going to be a Roche attempt from CUDGS3, so yeah.
Yeah, we might have a backstab instead, we'll see. If they actually choose to fight, they see each other, I think, but
exactly.
They don't really want to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the Dire side, we have on the Venomancer we have Rusio, Birch playing the Tinker, Wub playing the Ursa, Spoon on the Shadow Shaman, and Games for May taking up the Nyx.
Yeah, and we do see them rotating in to the Radiant side jungle, placing up 2 wards. We do have a couple of links though from 5mm, so I don't know if they've spotted it out or not, but they as you say, they saw each other. We did see Ruzo chasing after someone on down here close by the hard camp, so.
Yeah.
This is interesting though, I think. We do
This is
see a
very
death
interesting.
prophet on the safe lane farmer
Yeah.
for. We have seen Vorst playing him as a carry before,
Yeah.
so not too shabby that way, but very interesting nonetheless. And Nyx Assassin going toward the solo offlane with a Venom Shadow Shaman as the safe lane supporters.
I feel that the big problem now for 5-man mid is that Weaver is a hero that needs a lot of farm. He usually goes for Lincolns as a third item, and Lincoln is really expensive. And going up against a tri-lane with the slow from Venu and the lockdown from Shadow Shaman, together with the burst that comes from Ursa, that's really gonna be really hard for him. If CUD plays aggressively, this Weaver is gonna have a really hard time.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if he can perhaps get a couple of last hits, because he's going to need last hits and levels. As Nasi said, he's going for Lincoln's most likely. I mean, we do see a Lincoln's Weaver a lot, and I do think that's what he's going to want to do against the Shadow Shaman. So, I mean, he's facing 2 safe lane supporters who have long range, and he's a short range hero, and it's going to be tough for him to really be able to do something, I think, but we'll see how he handles it.
I would say they actually sent the Nyx offlane, which is not really something you see. And again, against the tri-lane, sure he has his spiked carapace, but with the amount of lockdown, with the high range lockdown, especially on the ice path as well as the net, if they catch this Nyx, he is dead.
Yeah, we do see a lot of damage coming out towards the Jakiro though, and he's getting very low, and he's trying to run away, and that's going to be a first blood for Nyx on the offlane. A bit too aggressively played by Buddha Question on Jakiro, so.
Yeah, actually really well executed by Nyx, activating that carapace right before the ice path hit him.
Yeah, that was a nice job by him, and it stunned down the Jakiro long enough for him to be able to get that last hit, so nicely done by Games from A.
Yeah, I just feel Jakiro is just being way over aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, he had taken a lot of damage before as well, so I'm not sure about that.
I mean, harassing Nyx is fine and all, but you don't have to actually stand on him, which he did.
But
and actually, Venno is going to down as well.
We did see a bit of harassing going out, and Weaver went down pretty low, but I mean, even if, as you say, the slow is pretty much useless against the Weaver, he just pops his Shikuchi, runs in, and takes that kill, so nicely done by Weaver. They want that kill. They want him to get fat, especially against this. I mean, to be able to contest the Ursa.
It's like on the early levels of Shikuchi, when it has like 12-10 second cooldown, then the stun is the slow is fairly effective. But the Shadow Shaman was not there, and they really need that lockdown if they want to take down the Weaver.
Yeah, we do see pretty nice job by T-Leaf in the mid lane against the Tinker. He has managed to pick up the most last hits so far, and Tinker doing fine, but he is slipping. He's kind of behind, only 2 denies ahead of Elder Titan, so we'll see what happens. But both people have picked up their bottles, and Elder Titan even has in this rune in the bottle, but that's not really doing too much right now.
This is just, in general, a hard lane for Tinker, because looking at the damage, Tinker doesn't really have that much damage. He has bought an old talisman, which does help him a bit, but with the Astral Spirit, it just gives Elder Titan such a damage advantage, and as well, the attack animation is much better for Elder Titan as well, so he does have an advantage.
Yeah, and I do think he's, since he's gone into the Order build instead of a Stomp build, which we have seen earlier in the tournament, I do think that Tinker might be a bit more prominent to the harass from Elder Titan as well, so. Yeah. But now he's going, Elder Titan going a bit lower, he just pops his Invis rune, pops 1 charge, and he's gonna find a regen rune, so. A bit of luck there with the runes for him, so nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, Tinker does have really good harass with both Missile and Lesser, but Elder Titan is really tanky.
Yeah, and now we see a rotation in mid from Naga Siren, so we'll see if they're gonna try to go on the Tinker, but he just backs off, and Naga Siren kind of just leeching the experience right now, but deciding to back off by the river, so we'll see what happens there.
That was pretty weird. I feel if Naga went around instead of throwing it straight up to Tinker, if she gets a net on him, that they could possibly bring him down. because the
Yeah,
net is really strong, and Elder Titan just does a lot of damage. And
yeah,
Tinker, not really a survivable hero at all.
yeah. I agree. However, we do see now a really nice job by Ursa and his supporters on the safe lane. I mean, they've really shut down the Weaver. They have placed the sentry ward, so they have an easy time spotting him out. So Weaver just tries to harass a bit with Venomancer, but he's getting zoned out, and this is a free farming lane for Ursa. So Weaver having a really tough time on the off lane.
Yeah. And Nyx actually has rotated mid as well. He is level 6 now, which is really
Yeah,
nice, so we'll see if he actually Weaver, not even level 5 when the Nyx was
yeah,
level 6. That
just
kill did a lot for him.
yeah, agreed. I mean, just looking at it right now and level wise, we have a huge advantage, or not huge, but there's a definite advantage for Cud. And I mean, if they can manage to utilize that next Vendetta and get some kills, that's gonna be really good for them.
Yeah, they actually have seen the Nyx now, so the Elder Titan can just back off. They have
Yeah,
a ward
yeah, exactly.
right up here.
And they do have another. They have a sentry ward in the mid lane, so nicely done by them to really scout out that. And Nyx just has to pop his Vendetta on a creep and back off. So
Yeah,
they really anticipated that with the Nyx rotating away at level 6. So
yeah.
nicely done. Now Elder Titan taking a bit of harass by Tinker, but he does have a regen rune in the bottle. We did see Shadow Shaman rotating in toward the middle, so perhaps they wanted a kill, but we'll see if they can manage to get one now when that Tinker has picked up a haste rune. But we'll see. Now Naga Siren rotating in, she's not being spotted out yet by Tinker or Nyx, very close to it, but nothing really happened. Now Tinker popping his haste, he's rotating down toward the bottom lane, and they have a Nyx, but Nyx doesn't have his Vendetta, but they're gonna go in towards the Jakiro, and I mean Tinker's just so quick, the stun hits, and that's a huge kill for them. They easily bring him down. Now Death Prophet going low, she does manage to silence the Tinker. Tinker doesn't really have any mana, but he bottles up, and he's just gonna run in, but he has the haste, but he still decides to back off. But a nice kill on Jakiro, and they're just gonna rotate away easily from that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a really good gank from Tinker. Just the laser heat-seeking missile combo just such an enormous amount of damage, especially against the support.
Yeah.
I feel
Now
that
we see a lot of damage coming out on the top lane to the Weaver. He's getting pretty close to taking down the Venomancer. He's hit by the Swarm, but he just tangos up and he's down. He does take a bit of damage from the Swarm, but he manages to stay alive and walk away.
yeah, I just feel like taking down Jakiro is fine, but I think they could have gotten the Death Prophet down without any problems.
Yeah,
That earlier gank, and it would have been way more effective.
I do think so too. Now we see Shadow Shaman being chased out by the Elder Titan, but that's a nice rotation in from the Tinker, and Tinker almost gets a kill, but Shadow Shaman goes down in the meanwhile, but no, Tinker isn't going to be able to finish him off. No bottle charges and no mana, so nice kill there by Elder Titan, even though he went very low. Nice rotation in by Tinker to try and salvage that situation.
Yeah, Elder Titan is just really tanky, so without spells, there's just no way the Tinker is getting him down. And looking at the Elder Titan, he's almost finished a mech now.
That's going to be a huge pickup for them, definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you say, he's around 400 gold away from it, so or 500 away from it, so that's going to be nice for them. In the meantime, though, Ursa has already picked up a Vladimir's and a pair of boots. He's not even level 6, so I mean, when the time comes, he's gonna have an easy time to just rotate in and take the early Roshan kills.
Yeah, but at the same time, both Venomancer and Ursa are level 5, and the Weaver is just almost level 7.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
he should
doing
have a
nice
much
job now.
bigger advantage being in the offlane, but the Venomancer has just shut him down really well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on the other hand, we do see as well Death Prophet is level 5, but I mean Naga Siren and Jakiro level 4 and level 3, so their supports are kind of being dragged down in experience.
Yeah, just running a tri-lane without pulling just just pulls down the XP level so high. Now the Naga has been rotating a bit, but at the same time she stayed in lane a lot as well.
Now we
So
see an initiation on the mid lane. The Elder Titan is going very low. He's going to be shackled up, but no, the shackle drops, and I mean that's going to be a kill on Shadow Shaman, who is killed by the tower, and Tinker is going to be able to finish him off with the rockets though. So Elder Titan goes down. Next Assassin just rotating out, but a bit of a scary dive there. I mean, to get the Elder Titan, they do lose the Shadow Shaman. I'm not sure why he dove that deep. Perhaps the Vendetta was running out. I'm not entirely sure, but
yeah, I mean, they got the kill. I mean, it's as an underlevel support against a really farmed mid. That's a great trade for Cud.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There was a
Uh,
nice rotation from Jakiro, though I feel I didn't really see it. Did his ice path hit the Shadow Shaman?
I don't think so. I'm not entirely sure. That's not what broke the shackle, at least. It
No.
felt like the shackle was broken by him, but now we see an initiation on the top lane. That's going to be an easy kill for Weaver on the Venomancer, but now Venomancer, Weaver is pretty low, and we'll see if the Shadow Shaman, he's not going to be able to spot him out, but Weaver, with only 60 mana, he only has one single Sakuchi left, but he doesn't have any poison on him. So he's going to try to just rotate out, but now we see a rotation in from Tinker, and he's going to find him. No, he does find the rockets, but he's not going to be able to put a laser up. But the laser goes out on the other side instead, but here we see an ice path into and ensnare on the Tinker, but we don't see any more initiation from 5mm, and I do see why. The Elder Titan going fairly low, and I probably think he just wants his mechanism before they really try something else. No
Yeah.
real damage on Nagasarin or Jakiro just yet, so a good call from them, just trying to save the Weaver, which they did.
Yeah. And Dios actually has a smoke now, so he's gonna run into the Roche pit. I feel like he should have bought out his boots, his face boots first, but it's fine. He's gonna just quickly take Roche down.
Yeah. I mean, he is level 6 though, so it's kind of early, but usually you see it at like the level 8 mark. He's taking a bit of damage now, but with another overpower, I mean, you just see the power of the Vladimirs. But we see Elder Titan Astral Spirit rotating in, so they really anticipated that, and Ursa is gonna have to back off, and he's gonna go for the Ancients instead. Yes, he's gonna go for the Ancients instead. Now
Yeah,
we see
that's
Elder Titan and Naga rotating in, we see another Astral Spirit rotating in towards the Roshan Pit. They're gonna spot out the the Shadow Shaman, who takes a lot of damage from the Spirit, but they're not gonna be able. They don't spot the Ursa out, so they're just gonna back off.
the Tinker just finished his boost of travel as well. So
That's gonna
he's
be
gonna
really
he's gonna
annoying.
start being really annoying. He needs something like a Soul Ring just to be able to spam his spells a bit more, and he doesn't actually have a point in much of the machines yet. But still, just keeping around ganking with the laser missile combo is just really painful.
Yeah, I agree. What I do think, I've taken a look at Death Prophet, and she does have a Perseverance, and I think she's going for the Bloodstone. I'm not entirely sure. She does have up to 2k gold now, but she hasn't finished her bronze. She hasn't bought anything else except for brown boots. So if she's going for the Bloodstone, I'm not sure why she hasn't picked up the Arcane boots yet.
Yeah, that's actually very strange. He should have done that. I mean, this Perseverance pretty much has to be for a Bloodstone because there's not really anything else he needs. Unless he
Yeah,
for some reason decides to go Refresher and go double ult, but that's just weird.
yeah, or unless she's trying to go for Lincolns. But now we see an initiation on the Elder Titan in the mid. That's a nice combo by Tinker, and easily Nyx finishes him off with the Impale and the Mana Burn. So nicely done by them, picking up the kill on the Elder Titan.
Yeah, it's a nice gank from Nyx. And now the Tinker got his first point in March and he got his Soul Ring, so now he's gonna be able to start pushing if he wants
Yeah.
to.
And now Death Prophet, I haven't seen Death Prophet using her ultimate yet. I mean, the full HP on the tower kind of reinforces that, but we'll see what they do now. But we have a rotation in by Nyx, Shadow Shaman, and the Tinker to the bot lane. So yeah, 5mm just decide to back off instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they want to push, but they're not really confident in it, I feel.
Yeah,
They're a bit. I mean, the Nyx level 9, Tinker level 10, and both those heroes have such high burst, so it's really dangerous to push
yeah,
against that when you yourself doesn't have that much. The Death Prophet has actually bought out stuff from the shop now. She has a point booster and vitality boost, so she will be going for the Bloodstone. And we actually have the mech recipe done as well for the Elder Titan, so they're getting their items up, and I feel like when that Bloodstone finishes, they should be able to push fairly
yeah.
well.
As I said, I don't really agree with picking up a point booster and a vitality booster over picking up the arcane boots, which could have really helped her farm or perhaps her pushing in the early games.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that pickup, but she's getting closer to uh, that Bloodstone, which is going to be a really nice pickup for them. Perhaps then they're going to be able to really get some pushes going.
Oh.
Now we
She
have
actually
an
popped her
initiation
ultimate.
on the bottom lane. We do have
Oh,
Nyx
that's...
Assassin getting. He's trying to dive, and it was probably a Tinker Nyx trying to gang, and Nyx just being caught out a bit too deep into the tower, and a nice rotation in from the Naga Siren, putting that snare up on, and the Nyx managed and really securing that kill. So nicely done by them.
Yeah, the Nyx actually missed his stun. If she would have hit it, she would have died.
Yeah.
So a bit unfortunate for him, but yeah, really nice rotation from the Naga.
Yeah.
That net just spelled a doom for Nyx.
Yeah, the power of the targeting.
Yeah. And now
we see they're spotting out the Venomancer and they're rotating in. Here comes the Weaver. He's gonna rotate in, but he's gonna find an Ursa as well. So we do see the Astral Spirit coming out. Venomancer taking a lot of damage. Not really a high health hero, but the rockets coming out from Tinker, perhaps scaring them away. But Tinker now TP's away, so they're being left kind of alone. And the Tinker instead rotating in. No, he's rotating home actually. I'm not sure if he's buying anything or just regenning up. He does have a Soul Ring now as well, so. He's gonna really. He has a lot of mana at his disposal right now.
Yeah. I feel that he just wants to push, and instead of fighting, which it seems like 5mm is trying to fight rather than push, I feel that the Tinker just want to split push. And he does defend though. I mean, he doesn't fight, but he just pushes out the wave when it gets to the tower. And there we have an initiation.
A gang on the top lane, and Jakiro is going really low, and he's gonna be picked off by the Ursa. Nice initiation by the Nyx, managing to find him, but no sentry wards coming out from 5mm. They really have to do that if they're gonna try to set up a push, and they get easily caught out by the Nyx.
Yeah. And we actually see Death Prophet in an Invis rune has found the Nyx. She doesn't want to go, but she has finished her Bloodstone now.
Yeah,
and she's rotating top, so now the pushing is going to begin for 5mm.
Yeah, I do think so too, and I mean, with an Elder Titan with a mech up, I do think that's the right call. Weaver is behind in his farm right now, but he can still dish out a fair amount of damage, and they're rotating in slightly, getting that swarm out perhaps to scout out hidden enemies, and the Astral Spirit comes out for harass, but a nice defense by Venomancer placing all those wards, which are really good since the buff, so.
Yeah, I just feel this is a big problem, the Weaver, just having a ring of health and treads at 17 minutes. If he even finishes his Lincolns, it's gonna be so incredibly late that it just he hits like a kitten.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially against that Ursa. Ursa right now easily out DPSing him. He can pick off some of the heroes like Venomancer or Shadow Shaman, but other than that, he's not really that prominent.
No.
Tinker now taking a bit of harass from the Crypt Swarm, or is it? Yeah, it's Crypt Swarm. From Death Prophet, so nicely. He's doing his job to try and push, but I mean the counter pushing coming out as well from the Tinker, that really neutralizes him right now.
Yeah, I mean just trying to push against the Tinker in general is.
And there we see a nice initiation by the Nyx Assassin. We see a nice hit in the Vendetta and a double stun and a mana drain. So Naga Siren going fairly low, so Nyx just rotating out though. So nicely done by him. Just a bit of a harass, but.
Yeah,
I feel no real follow up though.
I feel like 5MM wants to push, but they really don't feel confident, which means that they're really wasting a lot of time in this lane. Either they have to go for the tower, or they should start rotating. Because the Tinker, he can do what he wants, because he has no problems getting to the top lane when they reach the tower and just pushing out and then going away. So I just feel that now they start pushing, and this is they need to do this confidently, because otherwise they will lose a lot. More than they need to.
I do think they realized that they could really push it when they saw the Tinker was teleporting to the bottom lane, so he was kind of far away, but as you say, he does have the teleport boots, so. But we also saw the Nyx rotating towards the middle lane to try to pick off the farming Weaver, so. Nice job of them to really have attention on the map and using that Death Prophet ultimate to really pick the tower off.
And Ursa now picks up a Blink Dagger, so now he wants to start fighting.
I do like that pickup. I always like Ursa Blink Dagger.
The biggest problem I have is that there's a lot of magic damage from 5-man mid, and the Ursa has 900 health. He's gonna try going for Roche again.
He could be bursted down easily by them, so we'll see what happens. Nyx though, he has a Staff of Wizardry and Belt of Strength, and I think that's interesting. I mean, that does look like he's going for a Necro Book, which is a nice pickup against the Weaver. Now
Yeah,
Ursa, he does contest the Roshan a bit, but he's backing off. Perhaps he's scared since we see 5mm in the mid lane, and that's a nice ice path from Jakiro, which spots out the Roshan, but he doesn't spot out the Ursa. So
yeah. But it does mean that Ursa can no longer take Roshan. So 5mm is doing a really good job. Just keep checking the Roche pit when they don't know where Ursa is to see if he's doing it.
yeah.
And now they're gonna rotate bot and try to take this tower instead.
And there we say Nyx Assassin. He's trying to stun out the low HP Weaver, but a nice ultimate from him, but it's not going to be enough damage to pick off the Nyx Assassin, and he runs away with 300 health. And now we see a teleportation in by the Tinker, and he does pop his rockets and deal a fair amount of damage. And now Weaver, with only 300 health, is not really going to be able to do much. But Death Prophet just has her ulti on the tower and decides to push it. And that's what's going to happen. But in the meantime, Ursa does pick up the Roshan, but they lose a tower for it. But I do think the Roshan is a really nice pickup for him, and now with the Aegis, he can really try to utilize that Blink Dagger for 6 minutes.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's always nice getting a tier 1 tower down, but Ursa, when he finishes his blink and he wants to start picking off, if he has an Aegis, that means he doesn't need to be afraid at all.
Yeah.
And he can just go for it. Now I still feel that he shouldn't really. He should really try to have vision of where he blinks in, so he doesn't go against the entire team. The problem I feel though is that 5mm, they're staying together really well.
Yeah.
Which means that it's hard to gank a single person for the Ursa. Now they have spread out a bit though, so he really needs to take this chance, I feel.
Yeah. Weaver not picking up an ultimate orb, so he's getting towards that Linken's, but now we see him playing a bit of a scary game. I mean, he's gonna be out now, and he has Sakushi again, and he's gonna try to perhaps pick up the Shadow Shaman. No, he doesn't. I mean, he does know that the Tinker easily is trying to take him off, and we see a laser hit on the Weaver, but no follow-up, no mana from the Tinker. Now he pops a Soul Ring, and he's gonna just try to push it with that March of Machines, and he's gonna teleport home to get his mana up, and he does have a Blink Dagger as well, so.
Yeah, he pretty much needs to do this. He needs to get level the next level on the March of the Machines, so he can push as effectively as possible. And just in general, CUD has not gotten a single tower down. They really have no push at all.
Yeah, I mean.
So they really need to get these pickoffs that we were talking about.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Tinker. Tinker is a really good unit pusher, but he's not really that good of a tower pusher.
No, not at all.
I mean, he has to use the creeps he can manage to save when he uses his March of Machines, so to speak, to push the tower. But as soon as they die, which they easily do to an Astral Spirit, a Crypt Swarm, just Weavers, Sakushi, and I mean, there's a lot of nice counter push on 5mm as well. So, as you say, they really need counter pickoffs to be able to push the towers.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the wards from Shadow Shaman, but the team fight from 5mm is really strong, and they have a lot of anti-push as well, with the Crypt Swarm and the Ice Path and all that. Yeah. So, they need to kill people before pushing properly.
Yeah, now they are pushing the top tower right now. They do have the wards as well from Venomancer. That's a nice stun from the Nyx though, but we see Venomancer being caught out, and he is gonna pop his ultimate, but that's not really gonna do much, and they're gonna chase him out. In the meantime, we see Weaver pushing the middle tower and Death Prophet pushing that tier 2 on the bottom. So I mean, we do have a bit of a fight between Shadow Shaman and Weaver, but Shadow Shaman is gonna be picked off, and that's gonna be an easy kill for the Weaver in the mid lane, and he's just gonna back off now. But we do have a rotation in by the Death Prophet, but we have a dive from the Ursa in the top lane, and that's a huge save on the Jakiro by the Nagasar. Nicely done with her ultimate. That they're gonna lose their top 2-1 tower on top and an Elder Titan from that dive, but still a nicely popped ultimate by Naga, minimizing that damage.
Yeah, really nice ult, and at the same time they got a tier 1 tower, but they lost their Venno and they lost their tier 2 on the bot lane. And that's just not a trade they want to take, especially against a lineup with powerful pushing, such as 5mm with the Death Prophet. And
giving up a kill to a solo Weaver is also not a good thing.
Yeah, and this Weaver doesn't even have that much farm. I mean, he's getting close to finish his Linken's, but it's really late for a Linken's now.
Yeah, he
He got
does.
shut down fairly well in the offlane.
Yeah, I agree, and we do see him picking up. He has picked up the recipe now, so we'll see what he can do. And
Oh,
now
this
he's trying to
Venom.
kill the Venomancer, and I mean he has that DD, and he's easily going to be able to get a kill. But we see a nice blinking in from the Ursa, and he's going to be able to pick off the Weaver. But now Shadow Shaman going fairly low. He has trapped the Death Prophet, but he's going to go down. But so is the Death Prophet. He goes down after a bit of ifs and buts, but now Jakiro is going to fall as well to the Ursa. And Naga Siren just has to back off, but we do have Blink on both Tinker and Ursa. Ursa, though, no mana for either Blink or Overpower, so they just have to back off. But we have a Vendetta Nyx Assassin rotating in toward the middle lane, and we'll see if he can manage to get a pick off together with the Tinker and
Yeah.
the Ursa.
I feel that it was a premature Shikuchi from the Weaver getting the last hit on the Venomance. They could have just hit him once and then Shikuchi it away instead, but that caused the Ursa to be able to kill him with that blink. And a really nice war trap coming out from Spoon on that Death Prophet. That was a really important kill.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you say, I think that was a pretty premature as well. I mean, Weaver, he has, even though he has been shut down, he has managed to pick up 4 kills. So, and he did a lot of damage to the Venomancer with a DD. So not the best Tsukushi, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
And now Ursa picking up a Basher, which is a really nice item, I think.
Yeah. Just Basher and Ursa with the overpower. It's just almost a guaranteed bash in those 6 hits.
Yeah. Venomancer also now, he's 900 gold from a mechanism, which will really help his team in the team fights. And, I mean, the Basher, I mean, even though he hasn't got overpower up all the time, of course, but Shadow Shaman has picked up a pair of drums, which is nice as well. It really synergizes well with the high attack speed of Ursa.
Yeah, and just the movement speed he needs as well. So indeed, it is a really nice pickup. And the Necrobook, actually Necrobook 2 is finished on Nyx as well. And even the Tinker, having 3.1k gold, he's doing a great job just split pushing this. Just TPing in, popping 2 marches and then TPing out again. And just 5mm can't contest this Tinker at all.
Yeah. We do see Elder Titan, he has finished up a pipe, so that's a really nice pickup, but Jakiro sitting on a headdress, so I'm not sure if there was a bit of miscommunication there, or if Jakiro just wanted a headdress, because when you have both pipe and mech on Elder Titan, you don't really need a headdress.
No, not at all. I mean, now I'm getting messages here. I totally forgot what I was about to say.
About the headdress, or perhaps, or...
No. The pipe pickup. I feel, I mean, sure, there's some pretty strong damage coming, magic damage from the Venomancer and a little from the Shadow Shaman, but the main damage in this lineup is Ursa and the Tinker March.
Yeah, both physical.
Yeah, I mean, sure, a pipe is nice, but if this Ursa takes you down really quickly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it does. I do like it because you do have the Venomancer ultimate, which is a huge factor. But as you see, that's not the main source of damage, and Venomancer hasn't really been doing that good. We haven't seen his ultimate really come into play yet, so
No.
we'll see if this pickup really works out for 5mm, or if it's not really that important with the Venomancer ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it can make a difference depending on how the team fight goes, but with a good initiation from CUD, then the pipe really won't change anything. I feel.
Yeah. And now we do see Nyx Assassin Vendetta running. He ran over the mid lane though, so he was spotted out by the Sentry Ward in the mid. So they're gonna play a bit more careful, and now we have Weaver running around with his invis up, so he's gonna spot out the Shadow Shaman, but he has to guess that there's something going on here. And with the 2 lockdowns from Shadow Shaman, I think this is risky if he decides to go, and his invis is gonna be off now, and he's gonna be spotted out by Nyx Assassin, Shadow Shaman, and the Ursa, and Tinker rotating in as well, so they're gonna go for the bottom tower, which only has 100 health, so they're gonna get the bottom tower. And in the meantime, the Venomancer fall in the mid lane to the Elder Titan. So
Yeah, nice rotation getting the Venomancer, but now he doesn't even use the pipe, so all of them takes a lot of damage, which will pretty much force the supports actually not to go down because Akiro is carrying a bunch of salves. But a tier 1 tower is much better to get than a support Venomancer.
yeah.
and there was really no rotation at all from 5mm to get that to defend the tower. So I feel that if they don't want to defend, I feel they should push counter push instead.
Yeah, I think so too. But they have already taken the tier 2 in the mid lane, so yeah, as you say, I think they should have perhaps tried to rotate in when the Weaver spotted out the Shadow Shaman, but no, and we do see Cud putting a bit of pressure on the bottom lane. The stomp there misses all three of the Cud people pushing, but they're gonna back off, and Tinker's gonna go to the top lane and pop his March of the Machines, and that's gonna efficiently counter push the Death Prophet.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to push, they need pretty much their entire team, and it's still really difficult because the Tinker is now level 16. He's getting close to a hex, so
Yeah.
you really need your entire team. But at the same time, if you need to you need to be able to defend. So this Tinker, being as farmed as he is being such a nuisance
Yeah.
to 5mm.
Now we see an initiation by the Nyx Assassin onto the Elder Titan. Ursa trying to run in as well, and we see a TP onto the Necronomicon minions, and that's going to be a rotation by Naga Siren. She's going to pop her ultimate. Death Prophet as well rotating in, popping her ultimate, and they're easily going to get the Nyx Assassin. And now we see a Tinker trying to do a lot of nice damage, but a nice Ice Path by the Jakira as well as a nice ultimate, so a double kill there from Death Prophet with her ultimate, and Ursa is going to fall easily to that, and Venomancer with the DD rotating in, popping his ultimate. We also have the Weaver rotating in. He is under the Venomancer ultimate, and he's going to take a lot of damage, but that's a team wipe for Cud, who managed, for 5mm, who managed to get the entirety of Cud, and now Elder Titan easily picking off those Shadow Shaman wards, so a nice team fight in the favor for 5mm, and a huge Ice Path catching out 3 people on Cud.
That was a great ice path actually, and the mech from Elder Titan also makes such a huge difference. I don't believe the mech is finished. No, the vendor has not finished the mech, so they didn't have a mech, and it makes such a big difference. The Nyx being hexed as well, the sheepstick just getting finished on Death Prophet, so that also made a huge difference. No impale and no mana burn coming from the Nyx, and the Ursa as well. He gets stuck in the ice path, and then he tried to chase the Death Prophet while the rest of the team just punched him down. He needs a BKB.
I mean, you just see the Death Prophet ultimate as well. In that case,
Yeah.
it just brings him down easily.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem for us as well, because BKB does not protect you from the Death Prophet ult. But if he, and the Nang net as well, but if he doesn't have a BKB, then a simple Ice Path can shut him down, and a Dual Breath can slow him down.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he just takes a lot of magic damage in general, so it's really difficult for this Ursa.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that sentiment. And I do think a problem for Cud in that team fight was that Tinker is very close to his Hex stick, if that's what he decides to go. He does have an ultimate orb and 3.5k gold, so I do think that's what he's going for. And the Venomancer was very close to his mechanism before he died, so I think they were close to 2 items that could have really changed the team fight for them as well. I mean, you give them another couple of seconds alive, and you give them a Hex on whoever. I mean, that could really help them.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I mean, taking a fight just when you're so close, because they didn't even see the entire team there. They thought like 2 people and wanted to go for pickoffs, and then the whole team of 5mm just shows up after that Naga sleep.
Yeah, I mean, they chased
That's just
very
over-aggression.
far.
Yeah, that's just over-aggression.
They chased basically Elder Titan here from up here, so it's not really that good from them. And Elder Titan, as we see, he does have a pipe of insight, so Nyx isn't really that prominent against him.
No, I mean, the Nyx did take him down to half health and got all his mana away with the Necro unit, but that was his entire combo, and it only got him down to half health. This Elder Titan is really, really tanky, so they need more than a Nyx to take him down, and they need to stop him as well, because he can just run away if the Shadow Shaman or the Venu isn't there, which they weren't.
Now we see a warding coming up from Cud on the cliff, but I do think that's going to be spotted out by 5mm, so we'll see if they decide to counter ward this. We do have counter ward sentry wards on Jakiro, but we'll see what happens. We do see both teams kind of grouped up now, 4 people from Cud in their own forest, and now they have split up a bit in 5mm, but still.
Yeah.
Teams being a bit more cautious, perhaps trying to play a bit more team fight, but No
Yeah,
counter ward though coming out from 5mm. I really thought they spotted that ward out.
yeah. I mean, it's a if you see the guy just going there and then running back, it's a pretty good guess. But maybe they just weren't paying that much attention. The problem
Yeah,
I feel is that the Tinker is now pushing, but the 5mm wants to push top and take out that tier 2, but at the
yeah.
same time the Tinker is pushing bot, and this tower
Now we
actually is
see a
tipping mid
gang
now.
coming out on the Elder Titan. I mean, as you say, we do see him getting him down to about half health, draining his mana, but it's not really enough. An Elder Titan with a regen rune, just popping that and manages to harass the Shadow Shaman a bit. So nicely done by him. But now we see a rotation out towards the top lane from CUD. They really want to try to get these 3 pushers from 5mm, which I do think is the right call. There's only 3 people here, with Death Prophet now taking a lot of damage from the Nyx, and that's a nice rotation in by Ursa, and he's going to be able to get an easy pickup on the Death Prophet. And now Jakiro easily falling, and Weaver just teleporting out. We do have an initiation, counter initiation from Elder Titan. Nice stomp, hitting 4 people, and that's a huge ultimate from him. Shadow Shaman going very low, and a lot of damage coming out now onto the Ursa, but Ursa manages to get the Naga Siren. Weaver has to pop his ultimate, but he's not gonna. He does find the Shadow Shaman, but not anyone else. So that's still a 1 for 3 in favor of CUD. So I'm not sure what I think about the 3-man push from Death Prophet, Weaver, and Jakiro. I do think that's a bit too dangerous when you don't have the Elder Titan Naga Siren, who are you have prominent teamfight ultimates from them.
Yeah, you just cannot push with 3 people when you don't have vision of CUD being somewhere else. They had no vision of CUD, and CUD were in their own jungle, so they just rotated in. And 3 versus 5 team fight, there's just no way you win that at all.
Yeah.
And we also saw the Elder Titan got a great stomp ultimate and then popped his pipe and mech, and they still took so much damage. The pipe just barely made any difference at all.
Yeah. I mean, they did not put out the nice precautious sentry war there, so, but still, that doesn't really help them. No. I mean, if CUD comes in 5 people against 3, they're gonna get a kill. And I mean, Ursa, he's getting closer to his heart. I'm not sure if he picked up the Reaver before or after the fight, but he's about 200 gold away, and he's gonna kill a big dragon, and now he's gonna have his heart, so he's gonna be really heavy as well for them to take down. Veno also having his mech up. We have Necro Book 3 up on Nyx Assassin, and Shadow Shaman picking up a Blink Dagger now for some reason. Not sure I really agree with that, but still, it's a good pickup. Now Tinker also finishing his Scythe of Ice. So.
Yeah, he actually had that in the last fight, so and it did really well. It did it made a big difference. The Blink Dagger and Shadow Shaman is just pretty much only for initiation. If he blinks in, gets a ward trap, and hexes someone, that's 2 people that's shut down instantly. So if he uses it correctly, it's really strong.
Yeah, and now Death Prophet is getting closer to a heart, about 200 gold away. So that's nice for them as well. But Tinker picking up a Dagon, so going for a bit of more burst. Perhaps they really want to be able to burst this Death Prophet down, and now we're going to see a push coming out on the top tower, and just look at that Death Prophet ultimate doing so much damage, and we have a TP in, but it's going to be cancelled by the Ursa. So they really were prepared for that, and with the stomps and the Ice Path coming out, and Nyx Assassin just decides to back off 20 seconds to his Vendetta, so he can't really do anything right now. But Weaver is not there right now. He has picked up his Desolator, and he's rotating towards the top lane, so we'll see what he can do. He's going to spot out the Ursa, and we'll see if they can manage to get a pick off here. No, they don't have any follow-up onto that after that hit from Weaver. So, and now they're backing off. The Death Prophet ultimate running out. It's not really worth it for them to keep on pushing, and instead they're just going to be able to pick up the heart for the Death Prophet, which is going to be really nice for them.
Yeah, I feel like just a bit of a lack of vision from CUD. I mean, the push started a bit back from tower, so they should have known that it was actually coming, especially since 5mm is running a pushing lineup. But no one was actually there to defend. There were like, I think 1 or 2, and the tower just went down instantly. The biggest problem now for 5mm is though pushing upside to the tier 3 against a Tinker. Because that's really hard. And we actually have a Roche fight.
Yeah, we see 5mm trying to contest the Roshan, but they don't really have any wards up. They don't have any sentries. So we're going to see a nice stun there by the Nyx Assassin catching out 3 people, but that's going to pop the cooldown on the Lincolns. But they do get the Roshan, and they do get the Aegis on the Elder Titan. Now Shadow Shaman going very low, being hexed up, and he's going to be bashed down by the Death Prophet and the Elder Titan. Now Elder Titan is going to fall though to the Ursa, but he's going to have the Aegis, and that's a nice script swarm that gets the Death Prophet. Tinker manages to pick off the Weaver though, and Elder Titan is going to fall easily again, and Tinker with that Hex and the rearm is easily gonna finish him off. So
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, that's a
Weaver falling
superior team
to
fight for CUD. I mean,
yeah.
getting your mid and your carry, well, off lane, but still carry, he has the Link and Desolator against two supports. I mean, sure, they got the Roche, but at that cost, they lost the Aegis as well, so they'll Titan die twice.
Yeah.
That's just not worth it at all, and they're gonna lose this tower now.
Yeah, definitely. They can't really contest it. Death Prophet is rotating in, but we see a blink in from the Ursa, and he's gonna be able to bash the Death Prophet down, and this is gonna be an easy kill for them.
Yeah,
So
what a bash.
yeah, really nice.
He's such
Skill
a good,
bash.
he's such a good player, this Ursa, getting
Yeah.
bashes when he needs them.
Exactly. I mean, with that overpower, you can just count on it.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Yeah.
Jakiro, bit of a weird spot, and he's just gonna TP out, and he's getting closer to an Eels, and he picks it up now. So
Yeah, this use is really good against Ursa. I mean, if Ursa blinks in and start punching you, you can just duels either him or yourself, and they'll just shut him down because he still doesn't have a BKB.
yeah. And now we do see Ursa doing. Yeah, they're gonna be able to pick off the mid tower. But what I do like with this Tinker is that we have a Tinker with a Hex, and then he's a really good counter to the Weaver. I mean, even the Weaver has a Lincoln Sphere. If you disable it with one of your spells or Dagon or whatever, you can easily Hex him and get that kill. I mean, there's so much nice lockdown, in my opinion, on CUD with both the stun from Nyx. We do have the Tinker who now has a Hex. We have the Shadow Shaman who has a Hex and the Shackle. So
Yeah, and he has a blink as well, so
yeah,
he can
Weaver's
initiate
gonna have
from
to
really
stay
far
close.
away. And we'll see if the Tinker if he maxes to Dagon 5 or if he actually chooses to go for an Ethereal Blade now, because Ethereal Blade Dagon, that's extremely painful, and then laser on top of that as well.
Yeah.
That's just so incredibly much damage. I mean, a pipe does nothing against that amount of burst.
Yeah. Now we see Tinker blinking in towards the bottom lane, but he's gonna rearm and just teleport out again. He pops his. He's getting his blink dagger stable, but now he's running out. But you see a net canceling that teleportation. Now Tinker rearms again, and he's gonna try to TP out. But there comes a nice ice path, and Elder Titan is gonna be able to pick him off with the Astral Spirit. So Tinker getting a bit caught off guard there, and nicely done by 5MN to keep him there.
Yeah, that's a really nice net. I didn't think he would have vision, but he did.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I feel that's a mistake from Tinker though. He had blink off cooldown, I'm pretty sure, so he could have blinked further away.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel he could have
rearm,
survived.
So.
Yeah, I feel that he could have survived, that's no problem, but yeah, he does have buyback if it's necessary, so it's
Yeah.
not that big of a problem. It's a nice pickup, and it does give them a bit of momentum, but not too horrible for CUD.
Yeah, I agree. And we do see now Weaver is going toward that BKB, which I really like as a pickup. That's gonna really help him. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it does mean that he's picking up two defensive, like, anti-magic items with Lincolns and BKB, but I mean, I still think it's a really good pickup.
Yeah, totally. I mean, just the amount of spell damage and lockdown on CUD makes it a great item, especially for Weaver, who's hard to kill normally, unless unless you're able to lock him down. And when they can't because of the BKB, then he's just gonna go rampaging.
Yeah, definitely. Now we see a Sentry Ward coming out there from Naga Siren blocking the vision from on the ancient spawn, but now we see 5MM mobilizing a bit in the mid lane. Perhaps they want to try to get a push going. We'll see what they're. It looks like it right now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they definitely want to push, but pushing against a Tinker is, like we said, it's so difficult. Just spamming that march.
Yeah.
Incredibly hard, even with a Death Prophet, who does have a really strong pushing ultimate, which she can use from quite a bit away. It's still just really, really painful.
Yeah, and I do think this is interesting. Nyx Assassin has picked up a Void Stone and an Ultimate Orb, so he's about 1.2k gold away from his Hex stick. So
Yeah.
I do think that's what he's gonna do. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, both against Death Prophet, pretty much against all the cores. The Weaver does have his BKB now, but the further they can survive in this game, them being CUD, the shorter time that BKB is going to be active,
Yeah.
and then you can just hex him, and
Yeah.
he gets killed very quickly.
Yeah. Now we see the Jakiro being picked off easily when he's dewarding. So nicely done by Cud, just rotating in and out. Nyx is on the hunt, so quick with that Vendetta up. He's gonna be able to stun or hit the Naga. Yet no, he doesn't get this hit up, but he does get the stun up. And now Naga Siren has no help, but a nice stomp there coming out from Elder Titan, and a nice ultimate by Death Prophet to prevent him from doing anything. And we do have a very low health Nyx Assassin, but a nice blink in there from Ursa, and he's gonna go for the Elder Titan. He pops his mech, but he's gonna go very low, and he's gonna easily be picked off now. But Weaver manages to get the Nyx Assassin in the meantime, so it's a 2-for-1, but it's not a great 2-for-1 for 5mm.
I mean, they really should not chase that at all. They were 3 people chasing a Nyx when they didn't know where the rest of the team was, and they even puffed their Prophet ult, and they didn't get the Nyx down in time, so he managed to run away, and then he gets a 3-second impale because they're all lined up in this choke right here.
Yeah, exactly.
And that just turned the fight around completely.
Yeah, and I mean the wards from very nice wards from the Shadow Shaman, so.
Yeah. This Ursa is getting really dangerous. I think Abyssal is gonna be what comes up indeed. And Abyssal against this Weaver, they won't care about BKB anymore.
Yeah. I really like that pickup.
Yeah. I mean Weaver's pretty squishy still. He has 14 armor and 1800 health. And against an Ursa with an Abyssal heart, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, he is tankier than we see Weavers most of the time, but that also means that he can't really dish out as much damage. So he's tanking up, trying to be able to stay alive through all of these CCs and stuff, but
yeah,
we'll see where that gets him in the end.
Yeah, and this Tinker, he just continues to push because there's pretty much nothing 5mm can do against this Tinker. He has TP his top, they run top, he TP his bot, and they need to stay together. They need to push and they need to stay together, but they can't do it because this Tinker is completely shutting that down.
Yeah, and the problem I think as well for 5mm is they've taken all of the tier 2s, which is really nice, but now they're going to have to break the base, and that's a really tough call. I mean, tough thing to do, especially with that Tinker March of the Machines. I mean, he can just split push and back home and put up 2 marches and blink out and split push again, so he keeps you in place.
Yeah. I mean, they have grouped up mid, they really want to push, they just... Again, they're not confident in their push anymore, because they have... I mean, getting the tier 2s, they had no problem with that, they did it really well. But getting the tier 3s, they have no... their confidence is pretty much gone.
Yeah. I think that will be helped a bit when Elder Titan manages to pick up his Assault Cuirass. That's going to be a nice pickup for them.
Yeah. He's still a bit away. He needs 1k, about 1k gold.
Yeah.
So they're going to continue farming a bit. I just feel that even with an Assault Cuirass, the only problem is this split pushing and the march. They need to kill this Tinker if they want to push, pretty much.
Yeah, if they can get the Tinker down, I do think they have a really good chance of breaking the base or just putting a lot of pressure onto Cud, so we'll see.
Yeah, the really good thing about this Tinker though, he always has money for buyback. He's ready. He knows that there's a chance. He knows they need to pick him off, and he knows there's a chance they will. So he always saves money for buyback.
Yeah. I mean, now sitting with 3 gold, and he has a Dagon level 3. I'm not sure if he's going to go for 1 more. I think Dagon 3 is like where you say it's not worth it to upgrade it anymore. But now we see a nice pickup on the Venomancer. We see a Hex coming out from the Death Prophet, and Shadow Shaman popping his ultimate, and a Stomp coming out that hits no one. But that's going to be a Shadow Shaman ultimate that goes all the way down. So nice amount of gold there being picked up by...
Yeah, that's a bit of a waste, really. I mean,
from Shadow Shaman, yeah.
Yeah. And now they're gonna try to push. So the Tinker needs to get back now. He needs to pump out those marches.
Yeah. We do see the ultimate now coming out from Death Prophet. And, I mean, they are very much less prominent to defend without the Venomancer and the Shadow Shaman, but will it be enough? We do see the March of the Machines just coming out and just obliterating those waves of creeps. But
just look at this
now
Weaver.
See Weaver, he's being DPS down, but that's a nice Eels and a Hex. But now Shadow Shaman is gonna go down, but nice ultimate by Elder Titan doing a lot of damage to the Ursa, and he's gonna go down. Nyx popping his creeps, and that doesn't really do too much though. They are still hitting with that Necronomicon Archer, but they don't really care, and they're just gonna be able to break the base easily, even though we have such a nice counter pushing from the Tinker. But They really committed and they really got those racks, and now they're going for the tier 3 on the bottom lane. They don't have the Death Prophet ultimate up for another 50 seconds, but they're easily breaking the tower and they're going to go for the melee racks. Ursay's not up for another 50 seconds and he doesn't have buyback yet. I think that's the case here. And they're going to lose both racks, so.
I mean, the biggest problem during that fight, when they started pushing, the Tinker was not there. He should have been there. He know they were pushing, so he should have started up the March spam way before they started up their pushing. But instead, the Death Prophet ult was up. They had breached the high ground because there was a Venomancer missing, and you can't really come afterwards with your March because then it's too late.
Yeah, and now we see them reinitiating onto them, and they're going to be able to get the Weaver down, but they're going to fall 4 of them, they're going to fall 5 of them. Nixus hasn't getting very low, and Nagasiren not going down. But Nagasiren does have the Venomancer stuff on him, but he's not going to go down because it's only the ultimate now. Now the Death Prophet ultimate is up again, and he's at full health and full mana. We do have a couple of buybacks, but it's not going to help, and now Ursa is rotating in, and they're going to be able to get the Death Prophet is going very low, being hexed up and being stunned up, and that's going to be it for the Death Prophet. But there's only 1 Rax left for Cud, and it's at 149 health, and that's just not good enough. But now we see Ursa being able to pick off the Naga Siren just barely before she manages to escape with the teleport. A nice use of the Abyssal Blade from him, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not enough. I mean, this Tinker has been doing a good job split pushing. I feel that it's not enough because he always TPs away. I mean, even when 5mm was not defending, he kept TPing back and going to another lane. I think that he could have pushed more effective. And then the biggest thing was just that he was late in defending, which pretty much caused them with Venomancer already being down and Ursa just being so susceptible to the CC.
Yeah.
Then a late March is just horrible.
Yeah, and now with Nyx buying back, he doesn't have even close enough for his Hex, so that's going to be really tough. And Jakiro, seeing that he's being chased by the Shadow Shaman, just pops his Ice or Ice Path, and he's going to be able to catch people out. But a blink in from Tinker and a nice stun from the Nyx Assassin, and they're easily going to be able to get a pick off on the Jakiro.
Yeah, I mean, sure, pickers are good, but they need to push now. I mean, look at the bot lane is being pushed in hard. The Venomancer is having a hard time defending the top lane, and they're pushing mid. I just feel that Venomancer is not gonna be able to defend by himself, and Tinker is gonna need to put out a lot of marches if he wants to push out a lane with no racks.
Yeah, and I do think that we really saw 5mm getting ahead, but now we see a nice Hex coming out onto the Ursa, and Ursa is going to be able to be brought down by the Elder Titan, and ultimate coming out from the Shadow Shaman, but he can't really do much else. And Elder Titan, he does try to get the wards down, but now he's rotating out. Perhaps he wants to chase or something, I'm not sure. We do have the Nyx coming out now with a Vendetta up, so he's GG being called by CUD, so shout out to Adrian apparently. So there we go.
I mean, it honestly was a fairly even game just through and through. Started out with a bit of a lead from 5mm, then CUD got ahead with the Tinker getting really farmed, and then just 5mm managed to take it back with strong pushing, and just the timings of their pushes were really strong in the late game. Realizing that the Tinker was not going to make it in time to defend the push and just timing it really well.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. I mean, also, what I do think. Oh wait, give me a second. Sorry, guys, my stuff was a bit glitchy there, so now it's better. But yeah, as you said, I mean, we saw a bit of an early lead from CUD. I do think they shut down the Weaver really nicely.
Yeah.
So nice job by them overall. I think it was a good match overall. Nicely home by 5mm. They really managed to get the Weaver back in the game, and using that strong push and just overall team fight from, for example, Elder Titan and with the mech and stuff. They really managed to get back into the game. So.
Yeah, and we also saw the problem with Ursa here because he didn't get a BKB, but even if he would have, the net from the Naga and the Death Prophet ult just kills him really fast, and he just could not. He just got kited a lot.
Definitely.
Even if he would have been gotten a BKB, he still would have been kited really
Yeah,
well.
definitely. So now though we are waiting for another game, which will be up fairly soon again. I think we do have. I'm just gonna. Yeah, there we go. Or perhaps this is another game. I don't know. No, this is. I'm silly. Just waiting for the next game, which will be. Let me check, guys. I do have the brackets here somewhere. Let me check. We do have now, for the next game, we do have Extra Sour Wet Noodles versus Magic Socket coming up, so stay tuned. I will join that game. I'm just looking for which admin is hosting the.
James has it on the
Oh,
lovely
it
sub.
was James. Then I was in the right place. Silly me.
Silly you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check my ops, so it's okay. I do have a bit of a, as I said, sorry about the goddamn net graph overlay. My overlay, my console doesn't want to play anymore, which makes me sad.
Such a mean console.
Yeah. Now let's see. It's gonna be Magic Socket versus Extra Wet Sour Noodles. And now I can hear you breathe.
I'm terribly sorry. I'm gonna stop.
But it was like, and I was like, whoa, it's a storm. And then I realized, no, it's not. But now it's fine. You can
That's because
breathe.
I stopped
Don't
breathing.
die. Don't die. Okay, so we're not sure exactly where Extra Sour Wet Noodles are right now. So we're gonna try to find them, or the admins are at least. I'm just gonna be able to sit here on my ass and do nothing, because that's what I do. And we'll see what happens. Actually,
Yes.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this.
What's this?
What this is I'm gonna put up the schedule for today while I reboot my Dodo.
Wow.
So yeah, right now as you see, we do have the Extra Sour Wet Noodles versus Magic Socket, which should be coming up in a couple of minutes. We were a bit late because of the last game as well, but we'll see what happens with that. But after that, we'll change this later versus 5mm, no, versus Dim Sum, sorry, because they won. So that's the winners bracket final, and that's gonna be really cool to watch, I think.
Wait, that's today?
The
Tomorrow.
winners bracket final is today. Yes.
Alright.
I'll make sure, but for some reason, my console doesn't work. Perhaps it's since the update. Aren't they allowing consoles anymore?
My console works.
Why do you hate me?
I don't.
No, but what the hell? Why isn't? Okay. Let me check. For some reason, my startup wasn't proper. So we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm rebooting my Dota again. So sorry for the sounds, and stuff happens.
Yes.
Come on, console, and come on, Extra Sour Wet Noodles. Now it works. Now I can get my net graph away if we play another game. Oh, what? No, there we go. So yeah, as we said, we're just waiting for the other team to even resurface, so to speak. So we'll see what happens.
Indeed, we will.
So until then, how you been, Mad Monkey? What have you been up to?
Today, I have been sleeping, and I slept a bit as well.
That does sound nice.
I woke up, ate some mud cake, chocolate mud cake.
Oh, nice.
And then I watched latest Louis C.K. stand-up and a bit of MLG.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been sleeping as well.
it's nice to sleep, isn't it?
It is. Especially I got home at like 4 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
So
I went to sleep at I think like 6 o'clock or something like that. Gesundheit.
I even muted the mic on the ob so they
All
didn't have
right.
to hear me sneeze.
Well, I heard you and it was loud.
Sorry.
No, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Sleeping is nice, and MLG is nice.
Yeah.
Have you seen any MLG?
I've seen a little MLG, not that much, but I do like it, and I do like their own streams. They're nice.
Yeah. Actually, Navi versus DK is about to start.
Well,
We're gonna
that
miss
could
it.
be interesting
Yeah, I think it will.
if we can get the other team here. I mean,
Yeah,
as of right now, they are late, and I'm not sure how long they're gonna wait for them to arrive.
it's a bit strange
Yeah,
for it not to show up at all.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I didn't really have time to watch any games last night. I was busy all day. I had to plan a party.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fancy.
Yeah, it was super fancy. We built a pool in like a sauna area because we're engineers and we do that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was like the best thing ever.
Hmm.
So I sat in a pool all night.
Okay, I have not been in a pool in a very long time, actually.
It was like a sitting pool, so I could sit in it and be warm, and it was
Oh, yeah.
nice.
Did it
It
have
was.
bubbles?
We had bubbles, a lot
Okay,
of bubbles.
that's cool. Bubble pools are cool.
Yeah, but not like a jacuzzi. Only we had like bubbles.
Well, it would have been cooler, but with a jacuzzi, but bubbles is cool too.
Yeah, bubbles are nice. I
Yeah,
like bubbles.
yeah. You don't watch Doctor Who, do you?
I don't, unfortunately. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Actually, the 50th anniversary special episode is going right now.
Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, even James messaged me with a password saying, "Sorry, this is a bit late. Doctor Who and all."
Yeah.
So silly people watching things.
Hey, I like that show.
You're silly.
You're silly.
I am silly.
Yes, you are.
No, actually,
No, I'm gonna watch it as soon as it gets posted online afterwards
nice, nice.
because I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really been able to catch up on my latest show, so I have a lot of things to do tonight,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I pretty much never watch it. I've been watching through Whose Line Is It Anyway again
oh, nice.
because that's just incredibly hilarious. But other than that, I don't really watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I'm watching Fringe right now, which I really enjoy, but
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
it's really good once you get into it. It is a bit weird since it does have it's kind of like X Files in season one until it really goes to the story arc, but
Yeah.
but
But hey,
yeah.
X Files was good.
Yeah, X Files was good, but I mean, just in general, I think people like the kind of shows less that have like a temporary story arc. Like you only have one episode and it's one case. I mean, it does kind of dull, or at least I think so.
Yeah, I guess.
But we do have like CSI and blah 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 and all of those shows that
I
have.
don't really watch those at all. I mean, I
Me
watch
either.
things like Mentalist. I watch.
Yeah, Mentalist is kind of like a combination though. It's kind of
Yeah,
like Fringe in that manner. You do have like the overlaying story arc with Red John.
yeah. And actually, I think Rajon is actually being revealed in the episode tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I did really like the Mentalist. I haven't watched it all yet. I'm not sure why I stopped, but I did like him, and I do like I can't remember the main actor's name, but it's good.
Patrick Jane?
Yeah, no wait, Patrick Jane, is that him?
No, it's the character.
Oh, okay, okay. Huh,
Do you
well,
mean Simon Baker?
yeah, Simon Baker. I think he's good, and he portrays Patrick Dane fairly
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. It seems like we actually lost a bunch of viewers because people went to watch Doctor Who instead.
Griffin P is just
Why did
egging
I
everyone
mention
on.
it? God dang it. Oh man. Well, it's cool. I have my cat here. I can pet her, and then I'm happy. But it does seem like the other team is not showing up.
Yeah, right now they haven't shown up, and they don't. Yeah, so we're gonna have to give the win to Magic Socket, or not me, but um, the win goes by default to Magic Socket. So
Yeah. And it's a
that's
shame.
yeah, it's a shame, definitely. I mean, I wanted to cast their
Yeah.
game.
We haven't casted in like a week, so I was excited.
Abstinence.
Yeah, man.
And like tomorrow is the last, and then we'll have to be like, I'm not sure, man. It's gonna be so long.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to cast other than this tournament for us. So it's like we can cast pubs, but who really want to watch that? It's like
We're
if
gonna
we
have to
take
find.
really low-level pubs and then mock everyone. That
Yeah,
can might be
that
fun.
sounds like great fun for us.
Yeah, for us, but not for them.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Is that it for today then?
I do think so, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I think that's it for us for today. As we've said earlier as well, we do have one last game from the UK Gaming League tonight, which is going to be cast by Hats. No, yeah, first game is going to be cast by Hats, and then we're going to have Poppage and Cyclone Duke casting later on, and that's going to be We'll Change This Later versus Dim Sum. It's the winner brackets final, and that's going to be a really good match, I think. So
Who's
stay tuned
casting?
for
Is
yeah.
that tomorrow?
No, that's today.
Who's casting
Today
it?
at 21
Is it
GMT.
Hats?
Hats casting the first game, Poppage, JT, and Cyclone Duke casting the second and third.
Alright.
And
Hats is actually in our lobby as well. He's trying to steal our game.
yeah, exactly. Silly
Hats.
hats. So yeah, stay to watch them. I think that's going to be a really good matchup. Tomorrow we will be back and we will be casting the loser bracket finals at 1900 GMT. There's the games start from 1700 GMT, and at 8 GMT or 2000 GMT we will have Pyrion Flax casting the winners, the final, the grand final. So
I wanna cast with Pyrion.
yeah, let's sneak into the lobby and no one
Yeah.
shall see us, and
Just
everything will be good.
casually place myself in his channel.
Yeah, exactly. And go
He'll
like,
never
hey, Pyrion,
notice.
sup, Pyrion? What are you doing, man? And that's gonna
Oh,
happen.
what a disaster that would be.
Yeah, you and me going like, Erp. But yeah, so yeah. Unfortunately, this game is over before it started. We did get a nice game, I think, between 5mm
Yeah.
and CUDGS3. So
Yeah, it was a good game.
yeah, so yeah, that's it for us. So until tomorrow, guys, watch